Can one Tack and the Tack Paragon, the Crucible of Steel and Flame, defeat an entire elite boss by themselves? And yes, so far we've tested the Tack Paragon almost extensively, I want to say. So we tested it in free play, we tested it a high versus a low degree, we tested it in combination with other Paragons, but there's one last thing that we haven't tried yet, and that is to see if a single Tack Paragon can defeat an entire elite boss by itself. Now I did decide to make things a little bit harder for myself as well, so we're using Fast Track, which if you guys don't know what it is, it basically allows you to skip 25% of the rounds, and this is actually a bad thing to do in boss events because well, you are going to use those 35 rounds to farm, and in this case we're just going to jump into the game as if we haven't done any farming. So this is actually a very bad idea to do on elite bosses at least, but we're going to do it. And yeah, let's see if we have everything. So I want to start with the NG, the Bloon Trap, get a little bit of extra cash with it, and then I think I'm going to have a Tack like this. Let me just buy like one more farm and that should be good to go. And yeah, let's see if this is the setup that is going to allow us to make things happen. So I just bought like a single farm. Hopefully the engine and the trap is gonna make enough money, because the goal for the tier 1 is gonna be straight up a tax zone, which is super expensive. And actually we're facing our first problems. It is gonna be the count Bloons on 36. So here's what we could do. We could give the engine the count potion, but I actually don't want to do that because if we leak these guys, we're gonna have camos on 37, but the count potion will last for 5 rounds, so it should be 37 through 42. So we're gonna catch the camos on 42 with that one potion. So yeah, trying to you know, get a little bit ahead of the curve, you can say it like that. So let's go like this. Actually, let's get a bigger radius, and if I can fit this, is gonna be, yes, barely. Let's get this one as well. I think I'm gonna try and go for a 0-2-3 on this one, and then we're out of time, guys. This is not looking good. All right, so let's go like this. I guess with the trap, make it more in the center. Is a tax zone gonna happen? I am not sure, because we have some cash stored into these guys, right? It's like 4k each, so if we sell them as like 12k, but we need to make a lot of money as well. And I hope though, because we have the Jury's Fire, I think that's gonna help out a little bit. And the count potion that we placed on 37 is gonna come in handy right now. Wait a minute, why is this not, where's the count potion? Yeah, I place it. Oh my god, let me go like this. Wait, what am I missing? Isn't it 5 rounds? Oh, wait a minute, you know what it is? It's 5 rounds, but it counts 37 as well, right? So it's 37, 8, 9, 40, and 41. All right, so Blooners is taking the turns. So here's what we need to do. First off, junglers, make sure we don't upgrade to a primary training, because I want this guy to be a Minneapolis eventually. That's gonna be kind of in the future, I want to say, but yeah, it's gonna be a Minneapolis. But I want to get an alchemist, and if I can get the alchemist like here so that it only buffs the tax zone, keep it as a 320. This thing is a little bit too expensive for me right now. We're just gonna keep it as a 320. Yeah, let's just chill for a second, but as soon as we hit 7k, we sell all of these farms. So that's the first wave actually. Oh no, we're not defending this thing. Okay, let me just be quick with the selling, get this thing going, and then, oh my god, I think we're gonna need a Maelstrom. We don't have the money for a Maelstrom though. Let's just make sure we beat some of these Bloons. Oh no, that's super late. Can I catch it? I think I actually got it. That is amazing. All right, so as long as I get a Maelstrom like over here, maybe just get it closer towards the center so that we can survive. Yeah, just like that, and so that these blades can actually do some damage in the middle. And I think they were fine actually, although one more Maelstrom left. Let me go like this. I see some leaks. I don't think that's too many. We can hold off with these guys. I see a camo Bloon. Oh my god, this is not looking good, guys. Some camos making it through. I see a lot of Bloons incoming. That's gonna be the last trap this one has to defend, and hopefully it does. And that is 8 lives. Oh no, that's a huge wave. I think we can actually do this, believe it or not. All right, so 2 Maelstroms left. Let's actually try and be patient. Maybe there's a little bit of RNG going with this thing. I wish we did. You know what I wish we did? Actually, I wish we got a primary training village, which is gonna add just +1 pierce, but that +1 pierce is gonna do wonders for our tower, I think. So hopefully this is a little bit better than last time. I don't mind leaking these camos, but as long as it's just camos, we should be fine, I think. So yeah, there we go. The boss is getting defeated. This is the last Maelstrom, by the way, so hopefully this holds up top. That's a lot of Bloons. What can we do for these guys? Maybe something like a really quick glaive ricochet, just like this, and that's bam. We actually get it done. I can't believe this thing. All right, wait a minute. I'll start off. Yes, there we go. And that's exactly why this is a bad idea on elite bosses. It's fine on normal bosses, by the way, but it's like terrible on elite ones. So let's sell everything and let's go like this. Let's make the Minneapolis, and then let's place, I guess, just like start placing a couple of farms where you're just gonna spam a bunch of marketplaces. This is why I don't do fast track. Although, you know what? Even though fast track is kind of, you know, I want to say griefing us a little bit at this point, I am super happy that I bought fast track. I'm actually getting so much mileage out of fast track. I didn't even expect it's gonna be that useful. You know, at first when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, so what does this thing do? I'm gonna use it to black border stuff faster, but that's not exactly true. So I normally use it on normal bosses because they're weaker. I use it when I'm grinding collection events, actually, because you finish the map a lot faster. It also helps a lot if you're trying to do the golden Bloon achievement. Actually skip the first 29 rounds on in pop-up mode, so you're essentially only missing like 1 golden Bloon balloon, which is absolutely nothing. And then just obviously, you know, like black bordering stuff in maps. That's also super helpful. Right, so one of the mobs is gonna pop, so let me move the trap like this. I think I'm gonna catch a huge chunk of those guys. There we go. That was really good. We need about 5k for the next central market. Let me actually reset the trap like this. Oh, that was absolutely perfect. Oh, look at this thing. Now this guy's gonna pop in the range of the trap, right? Oh my god, that is amazing. Okay, so get the central market. I think it might be time actually for, oh wait a minute, one of the Jerry's fires expired, so let's go like this. And I think I'm gonna go for something like the Tack sprayer. Let's give the fertilizer to this guy as well. And how are we doing? Are we leaking balloons? That's the most important thing, because our defenses are pretty weak. We can go for the overdrive, but I really don't want to spend these $3,000 at this point. So one more central market. Let's get the fertilizer going on this guy, and then as soon as this round ends, this guy is gonna run out of fertilizer, so let's make sure we place it onto it. So just be on top of things, guys. That's the most important thing. As soon as we get our farming back, I think that we're gonna be fine. Does this make sense? Here's what I want to do. We know that the previous one suffered from the lack of pierce, so let's try like this. I'm gonna buy an entire new village just for the primary train, just a +1 pierce. Let me have an alchemist like this in the range of both discounts. This is gonna be a 420, so going a little bit harder this time. And then I also want to buy a couple of small alchemists to do something called AMD stacking, because you can stack the AMD buff on basically whatever tower you're trying to buff, up to 40 stacks I think it was at one time. And yeah, a couple of these alchemists, they are in the range of the discount, so that's really nice. And now as soon as we buy the Tack zone, we're gonna overclock. I'm gonna give it all the Jerry's buffs, and hopefully this is gonna be enough for the tier 2. So yeah, this is yeah, we're just coming back from the brink of defeat, guys. And the boss is coming back, so only 2 skulls procced so far, which is not exactly that good, not exactly what you want to see. And then we have 5 of these guys, which each sell for $17,000. So essentially, when we're at like 55 to 60k, we can allow ourselves to sell all of these central markets and go for a banana central. That's where the farming is going to stabilize. But first off, we need to defeat the boss, and so far it is not looking good, because I feel like he's like, the boss is on top of the Tack zone so far, and that is actually not a good thing, because look at what's happening up top. Like, it's like entire waves of balloons incoming. All right, so this is it. Is the pierce gonna hold is the most important question, and oh, it doesn't seem like it's holding. Let me just try and fix it with Geraldo and see if the blade trap is gonna save us again. Yeah, it did. Yeah, 3 skulls left, and this is like a skull already on the field, and this is, I hope we defeat this one, by the way, so that we can at least save some of the blade traps, and that doesn't look like it's happening. So let me use a blade trap like this. I think we're gonna need some additional help, guys. I think we're gonna need some damage amplification, and the cheapest way to do it is actually just gonna be the glue storm, which is gonna be slowing balloons down as well, so might as well do it, right? Let's go like this. Let's make sure to overclock it. Are we missing some buffs? Nope, that's about it. And again, this is gonna be, oh, we actually restocked one of the blade traps. Look at this thing. That's really good. Right on time. We're spending a lot of cash though. We could have had the banana central at this point, but we don't, which is completely fine, I guess, as long as we defeat the boss, because that seems a little bit more important. Let's make sure we fertilize our farms. I see a bunch of balloons coming on their way back, so I think this is a good time for the glue storm. So +2 damage. Let's make sure we overclock, and hopefully this holds. Like, we are gonna need this Tack zone to go into overdrive essentially. So hold on, the summons. Yes, I think we actually held the summons. All right, that's really good. Okay, so the next problem that we have is just the fact that Bloons is going out of the range of the Tack. So I'm actually gonna move the Tack, and wait a minute, is this skull actually gonna proc? Oh, I think it is. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so that's really good. So let's keep the Tack like this. Let's defeat all of these summons, and then we're gonna move the Tack. That is actually amazing. Let me overclock. We also need to like sell these farms as soon as possible. Let's do all the things at once. This is like super messy, but let's sell the farms. Let's go like this. Let me buy the banana central. I'm gonna buy the faster darts and the faster firing, because this is gonna improve the blowback rate onto the heli, and I'm actually gonna micro the heli, because there's gonna be a huge wave of balloons incoming. So let's see if we have everything. Yeah, we have the sharpening stone. I'm gonna place this thing in the middle of the blade trap. I'm gonna use the glue storm, and as long as we defeat these guys, we're completely fine, and I think we're doing it. Yes, that's amazing. All right, so let's move the Tack like this on the side, and is this gonna be enough? Finally, I think it actually will be, guys. Let's also, you know what we could do? We probably don't need the overclock on the Tack anymore, so we can just switch the overclock to the banana central. But yes, we actually do take down tier 2 around 71. No, we don't have that much time to farm. All right, so let's get to work. So first off, overclock this guy, the banana central. Let me get a tech bond, which we're gonna hook up to the engine, so we don't have to do it manually. Then it's just gonna be a bunch of 420 farms. Let's also make sure we don't forget to buy like the other 50ers, because I usually forget to buy those guys. And here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna rebuy the overdrive. I'm gonna sell the Tack zone. An overdrive is just completely fine by itself. Make sure we sell the glue storm, and then with the help of Geraldo buffs, we should be actually fine until the next tier of boss. So let's just focus up on farming. I think that's gonna be the primary goal. And here it comes, guys, round 79. So look at the setup. So we just got the banana central, and then just a couple couple of 420 farms, not too much cash to show for 32,000, but thankfully Bloons is kind of slow-ish, so maybe we're gonna make enough money before like he makes the turn to save up for the Tack Paragon. I don't know how this thing is gonna go, but we need to buy the other tier 5, so might as well get started onto those guys. Go like this, buy the Super Maelstrom as well, and then 200,000. I feel like a degree 1 is gonna be completely fine for the tier 1, and then we're gonna go, you know, we're gonna amp things up for the next ones. I don't know, guys, this is gonna get close. 150k, but we need the rounds to end a little bit earlier. So I set the meteor to strong, so targets, you know, like these mob class boons, so that we can end the rounds and we actually get the money, because this income is round based, right? So you kind of need to pop the rounds a little faster. And Bloons is right on top of our tax. We need to get the money right now. So that is 83 about to end, and I think we're actually gonna have it. This is like absolutely perfect. Look at this thing, Bloons on top of the tax zone. Bam! This is gonna be like a degree 1, but that's completely fine. We don't need any. Oh, it's a degree 2, guys. Look at this. No, it's completely fine. So I think this is gonna be more than enough. I am gonna save the Super Maelstrom for all these summons. So just like this, we do get some camo detection thanks to this sub, because remember this Tack Paragon does not have camo. And let's actually, oh, it's automatically set on strong. So yeah, let's use the meteor and let's see how much damage it's gonna do. Oh, that's huge damage actually. That's a lot of damage that this thing is doing. But keep in mind, this is like only a tier 3 boss. But thankfully, this thing is looking like it's gonna happen. That's the most important thing. And also something else that I'm finding comforting is that we are dealing with the summons, or at least so far. Let's also not forget to farm, by the way. So let me just get the Wall Street over here in the middle. Yeah, tier 3 is not even looking that bad. I mean, considering what we went through for the tier 1 and the tier 2, like this is absolutely nothing. I'm actually enjoying this. Like this is actually good. Yeah, so one more meteor and I think we have it. Yes, so let's pop this thing. We do have a Super Maelstrom ability. I'm gonna save this thing for the last skull, and then that should be about it. So here come the last summons. I'm gonna use the Super Maelstrom. Let's get rid of these DDTs, and as soon as these bad balloons pop, yes, that's gonna be about it for this one. Although we need to be very careful with the placement for the next ones, because it's not gonna go as fast as this one. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have the Tack like somewhere in the middle, like where the Wall Street is later down the line for like this tier 4 and the tier 5s. But so far, I'm just thankful that we defeated this thing on time. All right, so let's get to just placing a bunch of, I think we're gonna start with Paragon Power Torrents. Actually, let's get as high of a degree as possible for the tier 4. All right, so here comes the tier 4, and I'm actually gonna rebuy the Paragon like right here in the middle. So we're not gonna be doing the small sacrificial towers, at least not for this one, because we have a bunch of Paragon Power Torrents. So let's just go like this. Let's see what degree we get. This should be, by the way, more than enough for the tier 4. There we go. It's 35. Yeah, that should be fine. So let's click start, and let's actually not forget to place these Paragon Power Torrents for the tier 5. And then on the next one, we're gonna be doing everything. So a bunch of sacrificial towers, a bunch of damage amplifiers. I'm even gonna buy the Boomerang Paragon, which, if you guys know, it gives a 10% attack speed boost to all primary Paragons, which is gonna include this one as well. So a lot of small like things that we can do to make this thing happen, but let's actually make sure we get there. So let me use the meteor and see how much damage it does. Yeah, see, the damage is, you know, a little bit muted when it comes to the, at least in comparison, you know, with the tier 3 and how much damage just like a degree 2 Paragon did to it. Yeah, definitely. Oh, look at this thing. So 45 bats are actually surviving through one Maelstrom. So we're gonna probably need at least like 2 Maelstroms per skull, it looks like. Now, so that's gonna be skull number 2. I feel like it can, as long as we give it camo protection, but I don't want to buy the Ninja Paragon, because the Ninja Paragon has this passive effect of slowing all balloons down and actually taking a level of HP from them. And on top of that, it's gonna throw the charge onto Bloons. So even though the Ninja would have been like a fun Paragon to have, we cannot buy it, unfortunately. Alright, so here it comes. The boss is gonna be on top of the Paragon in a second. Let me use the Super Maelstrom ability, because I see some DDTs actually going out. So let's see if this is gonna make a difference in the damage, or at least how much of a difference is gonna make in the damage. So let's wait for the meteor, and then we'll use the meteor in combination with the Super Maelstrom, and that should be fine for the second skull. And then go. Oh, the meteor is not actually, yeah, it's really not doing that much damage, but I'm gonna use the Super Maelstrom anyways, and let's see if we can clear out all these 45 bats. So the boss is right on top of the Paragon at this point, so this is like max damage at this point, and even the small little fumes from the sides are attacking as well. When these 45 bats pop, I'm gonna use the Super Maelstrom ability, or actually, are they even popping? Yeah, I think we should use the ability right now. I was trying to time it with the last skull, and I think, yeah, like right now is the time, and so yeah, we are gonna clean this thing out, but it's not looking too hot for tier 5, guys. I'm gonna be honest, it's really not looking too hot for it, unless we get like a ridiculous degree, which we're gonna get a high degree for sure, but I don't know, it's like around 110, and I expected the tier 4 to be a little bit better versus this one. So yeah, so there goes the boss. We defeated tier 4. Let's use both abilities, and yeah, let's just keep placing these Paragon Power Totems, and let's see what we can do versus the tier 5 and the final one. Alright, so 119 is done, and that means only the tier 5 left. So let me sell all these farms, see how much money we're gonna end up with. Alright, so about 3 million, give or take. So let's place all these sacrificial tags, and then we're gonna put all the money possible and see what's the degree we're gonna get, and that should be about it, guys. Alright, so this is gonna be the final one. Let's get the Crucible Crucible of Steel Flame, max amount of money, a bunch of Paragon Power Totems. Hopefully, like, this is over 70, and it's gonna be 76. That's really good, actually. Okay, I'm super happy with that. Let's buy an Archmage for detection, and then let's also buy a Boomer Paragon here on the side for the 10% extra of attack speed to all of these primary Paragons. So let's go like this, make sure it doesn't take away any pops. Go like this with the Boomer. Only a degree 1 is necessary, by the way. And then, I don't know, maybe like a couple of Shimmer Wizards here on the side, just so we decamo the DDTs, and I think that is gonna be about it, guys. I think we can sell Juralo at this point. Let me also buy these damage amplification towers, so go like this, and that is about it, guys. I don't think we can do anything more than this, so let's see if a degree 76 stack can defeat tier 5 Bloons. Oh, by the way, we can actually do this. This is one of my favorite things to do, is just hooking up a tech bot to the Tack Paragon, and all these abilities are gonna go out by themselves. And so the only thing that we have to do is just watch if this is gonna be enough damage. Yeah, definitely you can see the uptime on the Super Maelstrom being a little bit higher than the previous tier, so a lot more damage being dished out, or I should say in a larger area. I'm not sure how much of a damage improvement it is when you use the ability, but there goes the first skull. Alright, so 45 bats need to go as soon as possible. Like, these guys are probably gonna be the most annoying things out of everything, and if like some of these DDT spots make it past the Tack Paragon, I'm not sure we're handling those. So yeah, this spot like right here when Bloons is below the Tack, and when it goes above the Tack as well, is gonna be probably the spot to which we can do the most amount of damage to it. So let's just make sure we use all the abilities. I, by the way, turn the effects down a little bit so you're not seeing the Glue Storm, but it's getting activated. Alright, so coming back, this is gonna be skull number 3. So far, not looking good, honestly. Maybe we can find a different spot for the Tack Paragon, like here where the Archmage is, in this like small intersection. But let's actually see if this is gonna happen, because Bloons is coming up to the best spot to get damage at this point. So let's make sure we use all of our abilities. All the damage amplification towers are working, and this is pretty much as much as you can do, guys. I mean, short of getting like a higher degree on the Paragon, this is pretty much all you can do, you know, versus Bloons. Bloons is like the beefiest of all the bosses. This is probably at the final stretch. I wish that we could move Paragons using the Chinook, but since we cannot do that, this is just not gonna work. Yeah, these Bloons, these 45 bats are actually making it all the way through, and yeah, since we cannot move Paragons using the Chinook, this is probably gonna be, I mean, I see the Super Maelstrom ability going off. I'm gonna use the Glue Storm as well, and yeah, look at this thing, you cannot move Paragons with the Chinook, so yeah, this is not gonna work, because these guys at the bottom are actually gonna leak. Would this have been enough damage, actually? Just, I'm kind of curious at this point. Would this have been enough damage to defeat the boss? What if we place the Tack Paragon over here, though? This is a super good spot for it, so let's see if it's gonna make any difference. So let's see how much of a difference this is gonna make, and then I do have an idea which is a little bit out there, but I'm gonna try it anyways, and that is to actually sell this Paragon, keep placing a bunch of Paragon Power Totems, and then rebuy the Tack here towards the bottom side if necessary. So first off, we're gonna have at least 3 spots in which we do a bunch of damage to the boss. This is gonna be number 1, by the way. So Bloons is right on top of the Paragon, so he's taking as much damage as possible at this point. So the expectations for this one is for the damage to be a little bit more front loaded. So we're gonna do a lot of damage now, but when Bloons is on the right side, that's when the damage is gonna start slowing down a little bit. So I expect him to actually get popped on his way back onto this like semi-vertical track coming out from the right side. That should be when he gets popped, but this is definitely, you know, looking better than last time, and it's obviously expected that it works like this, right? Alright, so coming back, we're gonna have a bunch of abilities, so get the Meteor going, get the Super Maelstrom going as well, so that's gonna be a lot of damage combined, and I feel like, yeah, definitely 3 skulls getting procced before he even makes it on the top track. This is actually a lot better than last time, definitely. You know, so far, look at how the damage is going halfway through. This is absolutely amazing. Maybe, you know, we have to be a little bit more mindful with the placement of this Tack Paragon. Maybe it still works a little bit like the Tack Zone, in a sense that you want to have it as close to the Bloons as possible. Maybe this like Super Maelstrom effect is, well, a little bit deceiving in the way that it does the damage, right? And I think it's all gonna be on the way back, guys. That is gonna be a photo finish at this point. Yeah, let me just keep placing these Paragon Power Totems. That's gonna be super important. Alright, so the second to last call getting proc, this is really important, so the Bloons and the small summons are separated a little bit. That's really good, so that we don't have to deal with all of them together. So I feel like we're actually, oh, look at this thing. These guys are actually kind of making it a little bit further, these DDTs. This is gonna be probably the last spot to which we can do like this ridiculous damage to the boss, and after that, it's not gonna be looking good. So you know what? We might as well get ready for the last purchase, but let's make sure we don't buy the tier 5s actually, because there's this like monkey knowledge where if you don't have the tier 5s, it gives the Paragon a lot of extra attack speed. So let's make sure we don't get them. Okay, this is the last call proccing. I don't see any abilities ready. That is not looking good. Can we do something to stop these guys? Yeah, I know what we can do. Sell the Paragon. Yes, sell the Paragon immediately. Let's go like this. Let's rebuy it here at the back. I think we have everything. What's the degree on this one? Hopefully. Oh my god, I can see some ceramics leaking. Can I save that with like a this like a balloon impact? Oh my, I think I actually saved it. Wait, did I though? We're gonna need some camo detection because these guys at the back are gonna spawn camo balloons. Let's get the meteor going. Let's hook this thing up. No, no way. All right, so we're back and pretty much doing the exact same thing, but I'm gonna buy the Paragon a little bit earlier, and I want to be ready with some towers to stop the DDTs because I feel like if we stop the DDTs, we're probably gonna be fine. So it's gonna be the balloon crush, but do we want to like fortify it a little bit more? Maybe buy something like this, the icicle and bell. The only thing that we need to do is just to stop the DDTs, and that is it. We don't need anything else. And by the way, the last call is proccing, so where is the tank paragon? It's like this. I don't want to sell it right now. Okay, so let's just wait a little bit longer, but also make sure we're a little bit better than last time. So you know what, maybe I sell it like right now. Okay, so before we get a bunch of these pops, so let's go like this. I think I placed a decent amount of these paragon power totems. That's gonna be a 71, so a little bit worse than last time, but let's see how it's gonna go. Yes, okay, so we're stopping all of these guys, really important. And now it's just gonna be the final stretch. Is the damage gonna be enough? About 2.7 million HP remaining, and yes, I feel like we might actually have this thing. Let me actually just move all these damage amplification towers like here towards the front. All right, so there we go. We just needed to stop all these summons, like these super fast DDTs, and that was all it took. And I'm pretty sure that we actually do have this thing, and it took a while, by the way, which goes to show that the tank paragon is not exactly, you know, one of the best paragons in the game. It is doing pretty much in lines of expectations. So yeah, super happy that we made this thing work. So yes, Tack actually did beat Bloons. It took a while, and it took a lot of suffering, especially just because we suffered through the first 2 tiers, and then the last one a couple of restarts and some restarts on the paragon, but we actually get it done. And that was a super fun video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.